Good evening, Sage family. How's it going? Happy Tuesday! Network Tuesday, Teach 'em Tuesday. I love today. I love that rendition, that musicality gift that was shared today by Miss Tiara Tiggs. I'm so excited that she was confident enough and bold enough to share her gift on the web. I really appreciate you, Tiara. I met Tiara, when my babies were like in full-time daycare. And I celebrate her gift. And I am happy that she shared that with the Sage family. But good evening once again. My name is Candy Zenon, author and life coach, and CEO founder of Changing Seasons Life Coaching, where I help single moms strengthen their faith, family, and finances through one-on-one coaching, mentorships, books, and live events. And when I say mentorship, that's where you come in, Sage. I created Sage so that the singles could partner with the singers. Why? It's a two-part mandate. It's a two-part mandate. One is the elder shall teach the younger. And the second purpose that it serves is foster relationships that some people did not have a chance to have growing up. Everybody didn't get a chance to grow up with Ma and Madea and Big Mama and Sugar Mama. That's where you come in. You share your wisdom. You share your wealth of knowledge. You give insight. You give a perspective that maybe a younger person don't have because of your experience. You've been there, done that, and seen it from the other side. You can look back on that hindsight 2020 and share from that well. So that's why Sage was created. Good evening, whoever just joined me. Welcome into the room. Invite whoever you want to invite. I forgot to invite folks. Let me see if I could go and invite some people. I don't know. But what I was just sharing why Sage was created. When I say one-on-one mentorship was is given through Sage. We have a mentorship link that's available. We have mentors that are ready to partner with mentorees. If you just click on the link and say, hey, I'm looking for a mentor, somebody is in the group ready. We have a few ladies that are signed up. If you would like to be a mentor, please sign up. If you're seeking a mentor, please sign up. That's what Sage is all about. Each one teach one. No child left behind. Well, I wanted to come on here to talk about purpose. And after seeing Tiara sing it in Sage today, I am excited to talk about purpose because they said the two greatest days in a person's life is the day that they were born and the day that they find a purpose. So how great is it for you to live life on purpose? And some of us have not yet found our purpose. And I also want to speak to maybe the elders. Oh, good evening, Nicole. Good evening, Ladisha. Hey, Dee. Hey, Liam. I was wanting to talk about maybe to our seasoned members who maybe life choices have taken you from a trajectory that you once desired. And maybe life doesn't look like what you thought it was going to look like at this age and stage. Hey, if you still living, you still got breath in your body, why not now? And not my Sage family, but maybe they neighbors. Not my Sage family, but maybe their neighbors. I have found a lot of maybe seasoned people, older people, that become jealous of the passions and the purposes of the younger people. But I only feel that maybe they're jealous of those persons maneuvering in the earth like they are, because maybe they feel that they negated their purpose, their original purpose. Go back to your first love. Go back to the place that you left behind. If you wanted to sing, sing. If you wanted to learn an instrument, learn an instrument. Tiara was talking about she's willing to offer piano lessons. So I just want to talk about you finding your purpose and what that looks like. It looks like you showing up fully and completely in the earth realm, in that thing that you do naturally. It just comes to you naturally. So maybe you never thought about packaging it and marketing it and selling it. Maybe that's not what you want to do. Maybe you just want to do it for fun or as a hobby. I say, once again, if you're not doing it, there's a reason why. There's a story that we wake up to that maybe tells us why we can't. Maybe it's from words spoken to us in our childhood. Maybe it was that teacher that when we were doing the thing said that you're not cut out for this. Maybe it was that first job that maybe we were doing the thing, but maybe they fired us from it. Maybe it was an application that was denied. Maybe you didn't make the cut. Maybe you went out for an actor's job or a chorus or a musical or a play or a film, and you were denied. They said no, but no don't mean stop and go do something else. No means next. Because if that desire was placed inside of you, there's a reason. And also, when God raises up a desire in you, he raises up a door opener. Like I said on last Tuesday, wherever there's a David, there's a Jonathan. Somebody's coming to open a door. When I was given Preparing to Be the Bride workshop, where we purge from yesterday's pains, hurts, and desires, identify where we are, and create a plan to where we desire to be, God sent me a door opener. And for me, that was Reverend Moore. A complete stranger was willing to connect me to his connections, give me his building, also give me his volunteers and his food to feed my participants. That was an usher. That was a door opener. And maybe you call it a midwife. Somebody, if you're pregnant with a destiny, God is sending you a midwife. God will send you a madam to help you push that baby out into the world. And hopefully, after we discuss this tonight, you'll revisit that desire. You'll revisit that purpose. You'll go back to that first love in your heart and push it out. Push it out so that the world could come and view your baby. So first, in order to go back to the original design, we have to go to the designer, which is God. He's the creator of all things, heaven and earth and everything in between. And in Jeremiah 29:11, he said that I have a plan for you, not to harm you, but to give you a hope and a future. In Ezekiel, he talks about that plan is so precise that an angel could come and measure it with a rod. That's how precise it is. So number one, if you don't know your purpose, go to the purpose maker. Go to God and simply ask, what was I born to do? What is my purpose here on this earth? Who am I called to? Who am I called to? Where do I skill this? Where do I get my education from for this purpose that you have on my life? I remember just praying, just minding my own business, saying my nightly prayers, kneeled on the side of my bed, about to go to sleep. And I'm saying my prayers, minding my business. And God said, you're going back to school. I said, in Jesus' name I pray, amen. I cut the prayer off. Why? Because I didn't want to go to school. At this point, I had been out of school for 22 years. Nobody's talking about school. I didn't have no debt at the time, except for my house. I didn't have no debt. I wasn't trying to go to school. I didn't want no student loans. Why, God? Why me? But I know that 22 years prior, I had entered into a 4-year college. I had taken up the human services major, but I got pregnant. So I needed a check to feed my child. I didn't have time to sit at a college for 4 years. So I ended up going to a technical school and receiving an associate's degree. And I pursued a career that was able to feed me and my child. Later on, 22 years later, everybody's steady, we're secure, we're financially up, and God said, go to school. So I ended up going to school right back in the field that I started in 22 years later. And I wanted to know, God, if I go to school, how can I make this an entrepreneur endeavor? Because human services, which is my bachelor's degree, everybody know that's pretty much a volunteer-based major. So there's, like my professor said, what did he say? He walked into the class. It was online. He walked into the class and he said, I hope you all who are participating don't think you'll make money in this field. Well, that's the conclusion he had came to. But his conclusion wasn't a prophecy for my life. So I said to God, if I go back to school, it can't just be for me to look for a job. It has to be an entrepreneur endeavor. So once again, weeks, months, I don't know the time frame, it inspired within me, minding my own business, cleaning my closet, and God let me know about independent case management. So I was able to put human services together with entrepreneurship and created thus what you call Changing Seasons Life Coaching, where I help the single mom strengthen their faith, family, and finances. And what does that look like? It looked like parent accountability, helping them create a budget and a spending plan, helping them identify work from home jobs, increasing their income, using that extra income in order to invest to create multiple streams of income. And that's the goal, so that you'll have a better quality of life for you, your children, and your children's children. So that's the goal. You take that money and you invest it in things that you desire, whether it's a vacation, whether it's to create memories, whether it's to purchase a home, whether it's to get out of debt, whether it is to just provide food, shelter, transportation, better education, putting yourself in a better zip code, a more desirable zip code, having the money and the finances, the flexibility to maneuver where you desire. If your child need braces, you're able to use that money to get braces. If your child need a $3,000 tutor, you're able to get the money out of your bank account and get your child a tutor. If you need to transition due to an emergency, like in my case, I had to leave Louisiana because of a hurricane. And like we're talking about Hurricane Laura, well, mine was called Hurricane Rita. They told us to pack for 5 days. By the 6th day, I was declared homeless. But right before then, I had learned how to put myself on a financial diet. I had pulled my credit report and cleaned my credit report. I had rental history. So when it was time to transition, famine wasn't famine because I was prepared for it. I had money to evacuate. They had some people that wouldn't evacuate because they didn't have gas money to leave. They didn't have adequate cars to be on the highway. So when you have money give you options. And that's the whole purpose of Changing Seasons Life Coaching, to help the single mom not struggle and piecemeal assistant plans together, hoping to just make ends meet. No, I want you to make ends meet finally and thrive from it. Okay, so we're talking about tonight. Thank you all for joining us. We're talking about tonight finding your purpose. So what is the storyline that has stopped you thus far? What it may sound like, I can't do that because I'm too fat, I'm too old, I'm too broke, I'm too young, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough support. You fear what people would say about you. You fear how you will look doing it. You fear how you will sound. I remember I didn't want to talk in front of people because I hated the sound of my voice. I don't know if I still have a squeaky voice. I don't know. And I did the books. I remember my mom talking about my handwriting. She was like, "How are you writing books and you have such a bad handwriting?" I said, "It's not the handwriting; it's what I write that inspires and motivate and encourage people. So it's the words. So however you can get them on a paper, get them on a paper." I bought a typewriter. From a typewriter, I bought a keyboard. From a keyboard, now what? We have tablets and everything else. Okay. So it doesn't matter. It's all a story. It's all a lie. You hear me? It's all a lie. Whatever you're telling yourself, that's keeping you from your purpose, it's a lie. And anytime something comes when you start, like my mom told me, wherever there's opportunity, there's opposition. Every time I wanted to start my workshops, preparing to be the bride, I had to go, I had a family emergency. I had to look after my mom or my brothers or my children, or something would come up that makes me stop. And I said, oh, this have to be perfect before I could go. Here, I have to fix this before I go and fulfill my purpose. I have to do this. But no, Satan comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And the first thing he's coming to steal is your destiny. And however he can get a hold to that, whatever channel, venue, or avenue, whether it's your household, your finances, your car, your job, he want to rob you of your peace, rob you of your clarity. You can't think straight. You can't hear the methods that God is giving you. You won't be able to hear the strategies. You won't hear the instruction or the direction that he's telling you because you're so filled with the responsibilities of what's around you. So you got to ask for God to speak to your ear that your natural, speak to your heart that your natural ear hear. Allow God to speak to your heart and find that quietness in your mind so you can hear the instruction about your purpose and how and where to go to get that. So we're here tonight talking about our purpose, showing up in our purpose, finding out what that is and thriving in it. The truth is we make time for those things that we deem important. We make time for those things that we deem important. If you truly want to fulfill your purpose, you have to find a way. Just simply decide. Just simply decide what it is that you want to do. Because the truth is, everything around it that means to get you your purpose to fulfill it is going to come to full fruition. Like with my first book, I had 2 babies in diapers. I used to lay one on my lap as I typed on the keyboard. I started writing in between diaper feedings, bottle feedings, diaper changes. I made sure, and a full-time job and single parenting. So I'm saying this to say this, give yourself permission to start. Then what do? You organize your day. In order to, maybe you can't write a chapter a day. Maybe it's a paragraph. Maybe you can't go to school full time. Maybe it's part time. Maybe it's a couple of classes. Maybe you're mentoring on the weekend. Maybe you're shadowing an hour or 2 a day. Find a way. Okay, so what's our homework? Ask God, your creator, who am I? What am I called to this earth to do? Then listen. You have to listen. That's all about conversation, right? Conversations. It's all about conversations. My cousin Carmel came up with this name, conversations. But a conversation is two-way. You're communicating with your creator. Ask, who am I? What am I called to this earth to do? Listen for the answer and write it down. Like Habakkuk 3 say, write the vision, make it plain, that all that read it and run with it. They may run with it, and you're the first runner out the gate. Number 2, take an intrinsic look at what it is that you like to do. Fill in the blank. Do you like doing hair? Do you like writing? Do you like singing? Do you like cooking? Do you like computers, technology, writing code? Whatever it is that you desire to do, write it down. Just give yourself permission to write it down. Don't be fearful of it. Sometimes we don't want to say things out loud. We have that secret prayer in our heart, but we fear it so much to say it out loud with the fear of what that looks like to others. It's okay. It's okay. You're not looking crazy or silly when you're being true to yourself, right? So, number 3, who are the celebrities or influencers that you gravitate to? You know, when I was younger, I love to do this, encourage people, motivate, inspire. And I would go to sleepovers and I end up at the table sitting with the parents of the children I went to the sleepover for. So I always talk, and adults just always sat there and talked to me about they shoulda, woulda stories, and I inspired and encouraged them. And, you know, I was a child. They didn't care. They talked to me just like I was any other adult. But there was nothing in the earth that I knew of that had a title for what I did. I mean, you could look over and see the little boy playing fireman where they had a fireman in the earth. You could look at a little boy playing cowboys and Indians. They had cowboys. He could go into a rodeo professionally. They had cowboys in the earth. They had policemen. They had doctors. They had lawyers. But who was it represented me? So it wasn't until I was in the 8th grade and I received this Essence magazine with this beautiful black woman dressed in yellow. And I couldn't wait to get the magazine home to open up the page to read the article to see who was this beautiful black woman in yellow. And it said what she did, and she inspired and she motivated through speech and writing. And I was like, oh, I am her. I do what she do. And her name was Iyanla. And that was the first time, and that's before I met Les Brown and Zig Ziglar and Tony Robbins and Bob Proctor. But she was the first person that I seen that had a career in motivation and inspiration. So find those influencers that's doing what you desire to do, and read their background. Where did they go to school? What did they? Where did they go to school? Sorry about that. Where did they go to school? What was their pathway to get to where they are? And that would give you some insight of how you can travel to get to where you desire to be. Okay? So, number 4, give yourself permission to start. It doesn't matter what the gremlins start talking about in your head. The truth is the truth, no matter how you arrive to it. So it doesn't matter if, you say, all these people are already saying that. Like, this person over there is saying that. This person over there doing it. How many cake places or cupcake places that came to Cupcake Wars? And I think we kind of traveled to a few of them because we went to one in Washington, D.C. What was the name of that place? Cake is my thing. Like, cake and pies all on my thighs. But we traveled to a couple of them cami cakes, small cakes. One was in what was that place in DC? Oh, what was the name of it? DC Cupcakes. That line was like 2 miles long, and they had 15 minutes to closing. But anyway, so I said all this to say it doesn't matter who else is doing it. If God has given it to you, He's given it through your experience, your vernacular, your special way. And somebody's going to resonate to how you got to your truth, how you make your oxtails, or how you make your cake, or how you fix computers or make T-shirts. You know, this T-shirt was actually created in Lake Charles, Louisiana, from a small business. And here I am in the eighth, one of the largest regions. They call it the eighth largest region in the United States. So, you know, it didn't matter who was doing it out here. I liked the way she did it. I recognized her talent, her skill. I looked her up and I said, hey, I need you to do something for me. So don't stop yourself because you feel somebody else is in the earth doing it. Your audience is called to you. Your audience is called to you. So that was number 4. Number 5, break down the bigger picture. Break down the bigger picture. Because of the fact that we are created in the image of God, we see the end before the beginning, right? What does that look like? Sometimes we say, hey, I want to open up a restaurant. I want to open up a franchise of restaurants. You know, I used to say I wanted a steakhouse called Chocolate Candy. And I wanted every chocolate dessert ever sold, like from around the world. So I can see that, a franchise of that, right? But what does that maybe look like? Maybe it's not a franchise. Maybe it starts off with me selling plate lunches out of my house. Maybe it starts off from plate lunches to a food truck, from a food truck to a restaurant, from a restaurant to a franchise, maybe from a restaurant to 1 or 2, 3 locations in the area. Then start franchising. You see what I'm saying? We have to break it down to the pixel because we see the end from the beginning. It's this huge picture. And it seems expensive. It seems overwhelming. It seems unreachable. But we want to come down to that one little pixel. The one little pixel where it all started before it became this big, beautiful masterpiece. Right? So that was number 5. Okay, so I employ you to get with someone that can speak life to your dream. I don't care if it's your bestie. I don't care if it's your mate, your spouse, your parent. But you need somebody who go believe in you before you believe in you. If you can't drum up the belief like, I can do this, there's somebody who motivates you and makes you smile and make you believe in yourself. And then you join in and you start believing in yourself. Talk to them daily. Talk to them daily. Then hire yourself a coach. A coach can give you new ideas, accountability, mentoring, encouragement, motivation, and a plan, right? If you don't know where to start, but want to start, call me. I'll be more than happy to chit-chat with you, to just give yourself permission to start. Say it out loud. I don't care if you go to your mirror and just say it out loud to yourself. Why? Because your destiny believes in your voice. I just talked to Miss Tiara tonight, and she said, Miss Kendi, I was just so happy to see that you still going strong all these many years. She said, you inspire me because every time I look up, you're doing something, this, that, and the other. I just kept going. It started with preparing to be the bride workshop, and then it went on to making ends meet workshop. Then I was talking to you on the internet. It took me years to come here on this internet. But before I went on the internet, I go into prisons. I go into correctional facilities. I go into halfway houses. I go into adoption agencies. And I teach life skills to those children who are aging out of the foster care system. I teach life skills to the women in the halfway house and in the transitional facilities. I teach life skills to the men in the halfway houses. I went into one room one time. I was the only woman in the room. I was the only woman in the room. And I was able to speak life into the dreams of the men that this transition out of correctional facilities, that were out on their own. And I end up inspiring one man that he was talking about how from that conversation, I talked about entrepreneurship. I said, you have the skills of an entrepreneur. You were a drug dealer on the street. Just change the product. You learned how to buy wholesale. You sold at retail. You delegated jobs to different people. You had security. You had financial. You had accounting. And you know what? He said that he switched the product to coffee beans. He now make more money selling coffee than he did drugs. And he said you get the good quality coffee beans. I haven't had the coffee, but hey, I love the conversation. So give yourself permission to start. So I just wanted to come and share about your purpose. And I'm so happy I get to follow up after Tiara, because she's been following her purpose. She's created music groups. She sang at her church. She sang at my events numerous times. And I want you to have that same feeling of not just living, waking up, going to sleep, waking up, going to sleep, paying the bill man to the bill man to the bill man. I want you to enjoy the money that you work for. The strength, when God speaks of the strength, there's a scripture I'm trying to get to that has the word strength in there. That's not just your muscle power, but that's your money. That's your finances. And you get to enjoy that too, not just the bill man. You get to enjoy that too. And I want you to enjoy that in a way that you desire. And I wanted to share that with you about finding your purpose and not running from lane to lane like Dory. What's that fish name in Nemo? Dory. She got ADHD. Like somebody building a building. Oh, I'm going here. Oh, they singing over there. Oh, I want to do that. Oh, they watching children. Oh, I want to do that. Oh, I know how to make cakes. I'm doing it. Oh, I know how to make macaroni and cheese. Oh, I'm doing that. No. You would thrive in a lane that you was meant for. Collisions only happen when you veer out of your lane. Like a lot of people say, oh, Candy, what you talk about is universal. What you talk about is universal. Anybody can listen to what I talk about. Yes. What I talk about, faith, family, finances, that's universal. Purpose, that's universal. I can speak that to anybody. I just told you I went into the men's facility and spoke to them. It's universal. But I am called and assigned to the single mom. I stay in my lane because I know who I am assigned to. But when I am called to go, God said, when the door opened, I want you to go, and I go. So I don't say, oh, no, I can't go there. No, he said, when the door is open, he said, don't let the door shut on your foot. So I don't let the door shut on my foot. I go where they call me to go, but I know who I'm assigned to. Know your assignment, thrive in your lane, and live on purpose. So once again, my name is Candy Zenon, author, life coach. Hopefully, I'm helping you love through it, learn from it, live after it. If you want to know more about my coaching services, contact me at candyzenon.com. Love you all. Thank you all for joining me, fam. Have a good evening.